In this video, we're going to quickly go over some of the changes that have happened in the new EYFS, which came into force September 2023. There are some key changes that will affect how you manage your childcare provision. But first, welcome to the channel. So, for those that don't know, a new statutory framework was introduced in the early months of 2023 and applies from the 4th of September 2023. There are two key changes introduced and one clarification of the rules. But first, what is the EYFS? I will do a complete guide to the EYFS in a video coming shortly, so if you want to know more about this, then make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. Though quickly to explain what the EYFS is, the EYFS Statutory Framework sets standards for children's learning, development and welfare from birth to 5 years old. These standards, which must be met by school and childcare providers, were created to make sure that children learn and develop safely. The EYFS Statutory Framework aims to help young children stay safe while gaining new skills and supporting their learning and holistic development. Though, as mentioned, there are three things to note in this new edition of the Statutory Framework. The first is the clarification on the flexibility of childminder ratios. Previously, childminders could care for up to 6 children under the age of 8, but only 3 of them could be young children. A child is classed as a young child up until the 1st of September after their 5th birthday. Under the revised framework, they clarified this to specifically state that childminders may care for more than a specified maximum amount of young children if this number includes their own children or it includes siblings of children they're also caring for. So for example, you could care for 5 young children as long as they're in the same family, but the overall number cannot go over 6 per adult. The other change in the EYFS is around health and safety, specifically around healthy eating. It contains further guidance around healthy eating practices, which is in section 3.29 of the statutory framework. Here, it puts an obligation on childcare providers to make sure that there is adequate supervision while children are eating, which means that children must be within sight or hearing of an adult whilst eating. Though this is hopefully what we all do anyway, they have added this in to put extra emphasis on the importance of it. It is aimed to help reduce the likelihood of children choking whilst in our care. The final key change in the new EYFS Statutory Framework is the biggest one and arguably the most controversial. A lot of people have argued against this change, with some arguing that it's come in at the worst possible time and will only serve to harm quality and to compromise safety. Many childcare providers are disappointed that it was still imposed despite lots of oppositions to it, and many settings are choosing to stick to the old rules. But this change is a change to the ratio for 2-year-olds. Previously, 1 member of staff could look after 4 2-year-olds. However, this has now been increased to 5 2-year-olds. This is similar to other countries like Scotland, who are already using the 1:5 ratio. The aim of this change is to ensure that early years settings remain manageable and effective in fostering children's development, essentially helping nurses to make more money as they can now look after an extra 2-year-old per member of staff in the toddler room. Though many nurses that I spoke to are yet to adjust their ratios, though some have said it has allowed them to have extra flexibility in terms of managing staff, and I spoke about making a change in the future. For those that use my free nursery ratio calculator shown behind, which allows you to instantly work out how many staff you need based on the number of children you enter, you should have noticed that I've already updated the calculator to reflect the change to the 1:5 ratio for 2-year-olds. If you haven't used the calculator before, it's a great tool to help support you to work out your ratios, as you don't need to use any Excel documents or any calculator to work out your ratios. Just input the number of children you have and it instantly works out the minimum number of staff that you need. It's free to use and I'll put a link to it in the description below. But those are all the changes in the new EYFS Statutory Framework. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. And if you want further support opening, running or growing your own childcare business, then make sure you subscribe. I post regular videos around a variety of topics to do with childcare. The YouTube algorithm thinks that you'll be interested in this video, so check it out and I look forward to supporting you. God bless.